Yeah, she made caregiving a passion for me. I got the sympathy and the patience and the empathy, but I don't want to do those 3 a.m. bathroom shuffles anymore. It gets old. So, I Madeline survived that. She came out of it. She was never the same. She never got back to her current health. Um, she had her, and she was like 20 or 21 or something. One of her kidneys just turned gangrene inside her, and they took it out of her. She had like a sword cut, looked like, on the side of her stomach, and she survived it. But I think that messed up her whole body from then on. She was not an alcoholic. Um, I loved going out to dinner with Madeline because I didn't know what she was going to order next. It was never the same thing. It was like, let me have a drambuie with whatever you put in that, and it was like an adventure to see what she was going to drink, and she would have one drink. Early on, we're going out, and she goes, I think she was still at Sinclair Place, and she goes, can we pick up a 6-pack on my way home? And I'm going, yeah. And she goes, and she has one drink, and I go, okay, you want to get that 6-pack? And she goes, no, I'm good. I'm going, me being a good alcoholic, I'm going, I don't understand that. I mean, it's like, if you can drink, drink. I mean, gosh. So, everybody thought she was an alcoholic, but she wasn't. Even the employees, they said, keep the Listerine from her. She drinks it. And I'd go look at her Listerine. It didn't look like she was drinking it. And, but anyway, that was, Madeline was not an alcoholic. No, but every time she took a drink, it killed liver cells. And, that's what did her in, was her liver shut down totally finally. So, I'd buy her alcohol. I would pour her a drink. I would put it in front of her, but I would very rarely hand it to her. If she wanted a drink, she had to reach out and pick it up. I told Madeline, 4 months, 5 months before she died, I'm going, I'll give this to you. You can drink this, Madeline, but it's killing your liver, and it's going to kill you. And she's going, yeah, I know. And us being humans, I mean, that's how we are, I understand that. So anyway, I'll get back to the cancer doctor. He prescribed her methotrexate, which is a chemotherapy drug, and it was a once a week on Tuesday. I gave her the first one. That Friday, she started getting sick, couldn't eat, throwing up. By Sunday, she was okay. She was back to normal for that time. I gave her another dose the next Tuesday. Friday, she gets sick. She was sick until Monday. And then Tuesday, she felt okay. She took the third one. She got sick. She didn't get better. I mean, it was like the next day she's just down. And I finally, I'm like, I call the cancer doctor going, this is, and then, within, I think that's when she ended up in the hospital, was at after the third dose I gave her. And she was like, man, okay, her cancer doctor, Dr. Norman, there at Jamestown. I mean, he said he was going to do all this stuff before this, and he didn't do any of it. And then after Madeline was in the hospital, we go talk to her general practitioner, Kathy Shannon. I loved her. First moment I saw her, she was all about Madeline. That's all that she cared about walking in. And I loved Kathy Shannon. I said, I like this lady. And when Madeline came back from the hospital after being in a week, and Kathy was going through all the notes and stuff on the computer and going through, and she goes, we dropped the ball. And she looked at me and she goes, Madeline wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for you. And probably, yes, I could pat myself on the back on that, but actually the real reason Madeline was alive was she had hope to come out of the hospital. She had something to look forward to. She had, it was that, I think, that, gave her the will to keep living and keep, breathing and keep, and she was going to get out of the hospital for me. If I hadn't been there the whole time, she wouldn't, why come out, to what? back to Sinclair Place, back to, assisted living, back to, everything, every decision I ever can make for myself has been taken away. So, between Amy Amayu, Dr. Norman prescribing that methotrexate, Madeline did not have cancer. It shut her system down. She never recovered from those two things. Oh man, people. So, Madeline, Kathy Shannon, she's looking at us. We're talking about our relationship and how it is and things. And, she's looking at me going, you're the brawn. I mean, yeah, you're the brawn and she's the brains. And yeah, she was the brains and the money. And, that's the way it was, is I did everything for us. I mean, I did everything, I had to. If Madeline could not take care of herself on her own, she could not get around well enough to do that. But, I was able to take care of her and all her needs, and daily living, all that crap. So DSHS, they start a case against me. They go full on. They have hearings and shit, and I refuse to participate. They sent something to me, and I wrote them a letter. Madeline wrote them saying, I can come up with those letters. They're at the house when I ever get back there. If I ever get back there, I can go find them, the letters that we wrote. And, she wrote one too, and I said, God, what did I say to them? Because I said, I will never be a caregiver again for money. I'll never do it professionally again. If I ever be a caregiver again, it's going to be because I have a psychology degree, and that pertains to whatever my job is. But I will never go one-on-one. I will volunteer my time. I think one of the things I need to do for myself is to volunteer 15 hours a week. And I wish in this COVID thing I can't do that. But, all my friends that have, senior parents and friends that have seniors, it's like, hey, if they ever need help, I'll, go to the grocery store. I can mop floors. I can vacuum. I can clean toilets. I can help. So anyway, that's the state. They must have paid $150,000 to come after me, and when all was said and done, that was funny. They took my health license away so I could no longer work my profession. But they said something. They sent me a letter back saying, Mr. Gale said that, he would no longer, and I'm not going to answer your questions. It was something else. So anyway, okay, so Dell calls that September 28th. I asked Madeline to marry me. She says yes, which surprised the crap out of me. I did not. I'm kind of like, this is the last lifeline of mine, that I have to throw for somebody. And later down the road, I found out that with Madeline, it was the same for her, that I was her last lifeline, And I didn't believe that. Looking back, I go, okay, yeah, it was the same for both of us. We were both grasping. And marrying Madeline spiked everybody's guns. Bridge builders, Madeline didn't have any kids to take care of her affairs. So Bridge Builders, this company, Mindy Blanchard, they came in. Madeline told me the story about how she sold 85 acres to Rusty. And when I called the title insurance company, there was never any documents recorded. There was never a trust deed, never anything. They put all this shit in front of Madeline. Notary Public, all that stuff. You know how you go into a signing and it's like just, one thing after another and you can't keep track of what. And that's what they did to Madeline. They were swindling her out of that 85 acres. And Rusty was swindling her. I mean, it was... the scale of it is mind-boggling to me that these people can get away with it, and they were getting away with it until I came along. Nobody's going to take this. No motherfucker's going to take this from him. That's the most honest Dell has ever been with me. He told me he was a Christian man, and then he just fucked with me. He told me he was a man of his word, lied and lied and lied. Said he was going to build us a driveway for Madeline to get it out, you know, with her walker and handicap and all that stuff. He lied.